Oh, okay. Hello? All righty. Well, finally happened, right? Just kind of reiterate from last night, Sandra and I both really appreciate everyone for being here. We have people from all over the U.S., all the way as far as Florida, my sister and her husband, in Colorado, Washington, Oregon, Julie from Hawaii, Wyoming, Kansas City, right? So thank you all for coming out here. It's obviously a very small group. We wanted the people that were really closest to us. So thank you for being here, and let's have a good time. Thank you, guys. Also, thank you to Kim and Mark for doing a lot of the work, supporting Sandra. Also, my parents, they've really helped out a lot too. So thank you, guys. And let's give it up to our boy Danny, huh? Yeah. All right, on to the next.
Eric.
All right, this time begin everyone with your left hand. Pick up a fork. With your right hand, pick up a glass. Put that together, make some noise. Let's see a little kid from the riding room. Enjoy the first course.
Yeah, so I was supposed to hit cleanup, not starting. Yeah, I'm the father of the bride, the uncle, the special uncle. I was trying to think of something that I was going to say up here, and one of the things that stood out the most to me was when I was so proud of her when she completed her hall ambulance training. And when I realized she was going to go into that service, and it was something that I was thinking that, excuse me, I was really proud of her. And hall ambulance for me was somebody that we responded to, and I was like, okay, well, it's going to be Halls there, because we didn't have a choice at that time. We had either Golden Empire or Halls, and then Golden Empire got ran out of business, so it was Halls. And so I was kind of thinking, well, is this going to be really good for her? And she was so pumped up. And she had the orange ribbon in her hair, and she was, just all about being the medic or the EMT on scene. And I saw that enthusiasm, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I was so proud of her. And then it took a long time before we actually ran a call together. And I remember that first call, and out on the front yard, we show up, and I see her, and she runs up to me and gives me a hug. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I was really proud of her, and I started talking to her about the job and things she's going to see and things she's going to hear. And now she's running with both city and county fire department. And, Danny talked about the brotherhood, and I was kind of trying to help her to understand this, like, family is kind of unique. You get to pick your friends, but you don't get to pick your family. So there's feuds that happen. And so I was trying to warn her, like, you're going to hear, go out there and be cautious about people when you throw my name out there, because they're not all going to like me. And so I wanted to warn her about that. And she actually became kind of a thread, kind of joined some of those people that I had worked with in my job, and through her, it kind of helped to build that brotherhood, back up. So I was really happy to have her in that field, and I felt super proud of her. And even though I'm not her dad, I feel like a dad. I feel like a dad. So I would like to thank all of you for showing up and being here, and then I'm going to hand it off to the next person.
What? The video. I didn't bring a napkin. Thank you, son. He wants me to unshine my head, apparently.
Can't be shiny. Can't be shiny.
All right, folks. Well, Brandon touched on a lot of my topics that I was going to touch on. Thanking everyone for coming. We really appreciate everyone coming here. We're going to welcome you to the neighborhood, and that's what we call ourselves. So this is a special day for these two. It's been a long time coming. And many of you may have known this, or many of you may not, but in the last 16 months, this is our third wedding for our children. So they're all married off. So, yeah, thank goodness. So I want to thank the important women in my life. And some of you who've been to the first two weddings have heard this. Some of you who haven't, this will be your first time. So, and the most important woman in my life is, of course, Janine, because, you know, she's number one, because without her, number two wouldn't be here, which is Amy, right? So then, of course, we have my daughter, Kelsey, and her husband, Lamb, and then we have Paigey Poo over here. And Paigey Poo's about to bless us with our first, and hopefully not the first and only grandchild. That's due in January. So now I can officially give Sandra B, which I can't call her that anymore. I have to call her. Yeah, I will. But now Sandra's now officially the fifth most important woman in my life. So, and as long as she makes Brandon happy, she'll make me happy. So thank you for coming. Cheers. Cheers to Brandon and Sandra. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. Drop the mic.
Thank you. All right, you guys are going to have to bear with me because I got to read it because I'm not a very good public speaker. So, first off, congratulations, you guys. I'm very happy for you. I thought this day would never come, but I'm excited to see it. So, and thank you to everyone that's here. Thank you for the families that made this happen, came to support Brandon and Sandra. I know they really appreciate it. So thank you for being here. I'm very honored to assume the role of best man for you. I'm very proud of you. So just a little background about me. I'm the old married guy of our little friend group. So I'm going to try to sprinkle in a little advice for Brandon as we go through this speech. I got married right out of high school. Still the same woman over there in the corner. So we go way back. We became friends, I guess, when we were playing Xbox with a lot of the guys in this room. The little LAN parties we had, yelling at each other from the other room. Killing each other, playing Halo. But we really became close friends when we were on the crew together, the Wildland crew. Working together, when you spend weeks straight getting tired, exhausted, and miserable, you really find out who somebody is. And we really bonded during those times. And there's a lot of similes to marriage in that. It's miserable. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sometimes life can be miserable. But I'm just kidding. Life can be miserable sometimes.
I got you.
But when you're with the person that you've chosen to be with, you get to endure that together. So, let's see. Sandra, you might have heard these stories. I think some of them might have came out last night a little bit after the cocktails started flowing. But I'm going to tell a couple stories about Brandon just to illustrate the kind of person that he is and the kind of man that he is. So the first one is the Butler 2 fire. So we were on the Wildland cruise, September, October. It's pretty cold. We go up to Big Bear, and we get assigned to this fire in the middle of the night, and they decide that they're going to use us and put us to work. So we have these things called watchouts, where it's designed to keep us safe. One of the first ones is when you're in country not seen in daylight, you try to just kind of be aware because there's some dangers that are out there lurking in the darkness, waiting for you that you haven't seen, laid eyes on. So we work a couple hours straight. We finally get a water break. I see this nice, appealing rock. I'm going to sit right there and have a little break. And I sit down right on the thorn. And I catch this thorn. And I can't for the life of me get this thorn out of my butt. I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to get... And it goes a couple days. This thing is getting bad. I can't even sit down. So I approach Brandon. I say, hey, B, I got a test of our friendship here. He's like, what's up, dog? I got a thorn in my butt. He's like, let's see it. So I drop my pants. He grabs my multi-tool, and he goes to work. He removes that thorn for me. It was huge. It was huge. So I'm going to let you guys draw all the comparisons that you want to how this pertains to the marriage. Whatever crosses your mind, I'm going to leave that there. But he'll get a thorn out of your butt. That's for sure. And then I have one more story. So I've titled this one The Great Kodiak Wall. So if you know me, I like to do things myself. I like a challenge. So I had this house that was right around the corner from Jimmy and Amy's house. Brandon was still a tenant over there at the time, I think. With the roommates over there. Yeah. So I decided I'm going to build this cinder block wall with a fence on it. I need a retaining wall. So I'm going to do this thing. I get all the dirt moved. I get the concrete laid, the rebar put in. And I ordered the bricks. And they show up, and it's like 4 pallets of bricks. I look at my wife, and she goes, that's on you. You got to figure this one out. So what did I do? I called Brandon. Hey, B, I need some help. I need some help for like a day, that max. We just need to lay some block. What it turned out to be 3 or 4 days. And our backs were killing us. I'm never laying block again in my life because it was terrible. We had no idea what we were doing. But the wall is still standing. It looks great. Yeah. So if you need things done around your house, ask your husband. I've given him some experience now. Plus, I think I kind of owe you a little bit of time, so, we can work that out. But all kidding, all joking aside, Brandon has been the friend in my life that I can rely on. No matter what is asked of him, he's going to show up and be there. When we decided we were going to move to Wyoming, I know that was pretty tough for you, but you're the first one to volunteer to help pack us, So there's a reason my kids call you Uncle B, your family to us. So as you two embark on this new chapter in your lives, I know you'll continue to be this same person in your marriage. Continue to do the things that you like to do together, the escape rooms, the Disneyland. Even though I can't understand why a grown man likes Disneyland so much. But whatever makes you happy, go for it. Choose to love each other each day. We wish you guys the best and are looking forward to your visit to Wyoming. We love you guys. Oh, to Brandon and Sandra. Cheers. Love you too.
See if we can get through this. I'm just going to read. So Sandra and I have been best friends for 17 years. Stop, I can't look at you. We met in high school, but we became best friends freshman year of college when we were at BC. And in the same history class and reading Angels and Demons. And we bonded over that, and that's all it took. After that, we moved to different cities for college and used email as text messaging because we didn't have unlimited texting at the time because we're old. We went through our emo phase and tried to go to as many concerts as possible. But you can see the emo phase is not over yet. My parents half adopted her after we moved home to Bakersfield after college when she was becoming an EMT. We went through our quarter-life crisis and got Disneyland annual passes for the first time. I was the original Disneyland partner that caused all of this. So sorry, Brandon. And you're welcome. We've dated jerks and gone through heartbreaks. and so many life transitions. I've never had a friend more similar and completely opposite at the same time. But no matter what, we just understand each other. I know that she'll always be there for me whenever I need her, and she can always make me laugh even when life is really, really hard. We were roommates again when she first met Brandon. She was working crazy hours as an EMT, but we always made time for our pizza and wine nights. And I'm sure it was one of those nights when she first told me about the cute firefighter she met. Once they started dating and I finally met Brandon, I could immediately tell he really was one of the good ones. And I ended up gaining another friend in him, which I'm truly grateful for. And not just because you always have new whiskey for me to try. I've seen Sandra grow in so many ways through their relationship. I envy the fun you two have together and the life you've built, and most importantly, the love you share. Sandra's more than my best friend. She's my sister. And I couldn't be happier that you two have found each other to walk through life. I love you both. Sandra and Brandon. I'm not done. I told you. I can't do that.